High Commander Zextal stood before the vast observation window of the Confederation's most advanced monitoring station, his crystalline eyes reflecting the soft blue glow of Earth in the distance. For 3 centuries, the Galactic Confederation had watched this primitive world, content in their belief that humans were safely contained within their solar system. Another fusion reactor activation detected in the Kuiper Belt. Commander, reported Analysis Officer Venna, her translucent fingers dancing across the holographic interface. That makes 17 in the past solar cycle. Zextal's facial crystals shifted in a pattern indicating deep concern. The humans shouldn't have been capable of sustained fusion reactions beyond Mars, let alone in the Kuiper Belt. Yet here they were, defying expectations yet again. "Show me the energy signatures," he commanded, his crystalline voice resonating through the chamber. The holographic display expanded, revealing a complex web of energy patterns that shouldn't exist. Not from a species that had only achieved primitive chemical propulsion a mere century ago. The humans had been careful, maddeningly careful. Each fusion signature was barely detectable, masked by natural radiation and cosmic noise. If not for the Confederation's quantum scanning array, they would have missed it entirely. The implications were troubling. "Commander," Venna's voice carried an unusual tremor. "We've detected something else. The quantum patterns, they're not random. They're forming a network." Zextal's crystalline structure pulsed with alarm. A network. Out in the Kuiper Belt. He studied the display more closely, watching as seemingly random energy signatures began to align into a distinct pattern. The humans weren't just building fusion reactors, they were creating something far more sophisticated. "Analysis Officer, what's your assessment of their technological level now?" he asked, already dreading the answer. Venna's crystals dimmed slightly, a sign of professional embarrassment. "Sir, I can no longer make that assessment with confidence. These energy signatures suggest technological capabilities we hadn't believed possible for them. The quantum coherence alone indicates." She trailed off as a new alert flashed across their screens. Deep in the Kuiper Belt, something massive had just powered up. The energy signature was unlike anything they'd seen before. A perfect fusion of quantum mechanics and gravitational manipulation that should have been centuries beyond human capability. "Sir," Venna's voice was barely a whisper, "I believe we've been deceived." Zextal watched as more alerts began flooding their systems. The humans hadn't been contained at all. They'd been preparing, building, advancing, all while the Confederation watched their primitive chemical rockets and satellite launches with smug superiority. "Contact the High Council immediately," he ordered, his crystalline form pulsing with urgent patterns. "Inform them that the humans are not what we thought. They're not primitive, not contained, and most certainly not safe." As Venna hurried to comply, Zextal continued watching the growing web of energy signatures. The humans had orchestrated perhaps the greatest deception in galactic history. While the Confederation watched their surface activities with dismissive amusement, humanity had been building something extraordinary in the darkness of their solar system's edge. "Sir," Venna called out, her voice tight with anxiety, "the High Council is asking for your direct assessment of the human threat level." Zextal considered the question carefully, watching as another fusion signature bloomed in the darkness. The humans had hidden their true capabilities for centuries, advancing in secret while presenting a carefully crafted image of technological infancy to the galaxy. The level of coordination, the technological sophistication, the sheer audacity of their deception, it all pointed to one inescapable conclusion. "Inform the Council," he said finally, his crystals pulsing with grim determination, "that we are no longer watching a primitive species. We are watching the emergence of a galactic power. And they have been watching us back." As if in response to his words, the quantum network in the Kuiper Belt pulsed with new energy. The humans were done hiding. The question now was, what would they do with the power they'd built in secret? The alert system suddenly screamed to life. Multiple quantum signatures were appearing throughout the solar system, revealing hidden installations and ships that had somehow evaded detection for years. The humans hadn't just built a few fusion reactors. They'd constructed an entire hidden infrastructure, while the Confederation watched their primitive space program. "Commander," Vena's voice cracked with disbelief, "we're detecting quantum entanglement signatures." The humans, they've mastered quantum communication networks. The level of advancement required. Zextal raised a crystalline hand, silencing her. The implications were clear. The Confederation's entire assessment of human technological capability had been based on what the humans wanted them to see. The carefully maintained facade of a young, struggling species taking its first steps into space had been nothing but an elaborate deception. "Send a priority alert to all Confederation vessels," he ordered, watching as more quantum signatures appeared across their screens. "The humans are not to be engaged without direct Council authorization. We need to reassess everything we thought we knew about them." As the alert went out, Zextal couldn't help but admire the human strategy. They had played the long game, allowing the Confederation to underestimate them while building their strength in secret. Now they were revealing their true capabilities, and the galaxy would never be the same. The question that burned in his crystalline mind was, why now? What had prompted humanity to finally show their hand? As if in answer, a new signal appeared on their screens, a direct quantum communication request from one of the human installations. They were ready to talk, and Zextal had a feeling the conversation would change the course of galactic history. The Confederation's Emergency Council chamber crackled with tense energy as High Commander Zextal delivered his report. The crystalline beings that made up the Council glowed with various hues of agitation and disbelief. "Impossible," declared Council Elder Manxera, her crystal structure flashing deep red. "No species could advance from chemical rockets to quantum manipulation in mere centuries. Your sensors must be malfunctioning." Before Zextal could respond, every display in the chamber suddenly activated simultaneously. A human face appeared on each screen, a female with dark skin and silver-streaked hair, wearing a uniform unlike any they'd seen in their observations of Earth. "Greetings, Confederation Council," she said, her voice calm and measured. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. We believe it's time for proper introductions." The Council chamber erupted in chaos. The humans shouldn't have been able to penetrate their quantum-encrypted communications, let alone project a real-time transmission through their secured networks. "How dare you intrude on a private council session?" Elder Anxera's crystals pulsed with outrage. "This is a violation of what?" Admiral Chen interrupted, a slight smile playing at her lips. "We signed no treaties. We made no agreements. You chose to watch us, to judge us, to dismiss us as primitive. We simply let you." Zextal watched as the Admiral's image was joined by a tactical display showing hundreds of ships emerging from what appeared to be quantum shadow states, vessels that had been there all along, hidden in plain sight by technology the Confederation had believed impossible for centuries to come. "The Ghost Fleet," Admiral Chen continued, "has been patrolling this sector for the past 50 years. Your observation posts have been under our protection, though you never knew it. The Drachnid incursion you believed you drove away last cycle, that was us. The quantum storm that mysteriously spared your outposts, also us." The Council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The humans hadn't just advanced beyond expectations. They had been actively operating throughout Confederation space, protecting them while maintaining their carefully crafted illusion of primitiveness. But why? Zextal found himself asking. Why maintain this deception? Admiral Chen's expression grew serious. "Because there's something coming. Something that required us to advance faster, to push harder, to leap centuries ahead in mere decades. We needed to prepare without drawing attention." The Confederation's dismissive observation of Earth provided perfect cover. As if on cue, new sensor alerts began blaring throughout the chamber. The Ghost Fleet was moving into defensive positions, their quantum drives leaving traces that even the Confederation's advanced sensors struggled to track. "They're here," Admiral Chen announced, her voice grim. "The Void Collective, a threat we've been preparing to face for the past century. Your long-range sensors will detect them in approximately 3 minutes. The tactical display shifted, showing a massive tear in space-time forming at the edge of the solar system. The Confederation's sensors were registering power readings that defied comprehension. "Now you have a choice," Chen continued. "You can continue to dismiss us as primitives, or you can accept that humanity has advanced far beyond your expectations. Either way, we will defend this sector, including your people, from what's coming. The only question is whether we do it together or alone." The council erupted in debate, but Zextal kept his attention on the tactical display. The human ships were moving with incredible precision, forming complex geometric patterns that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around them. "Their ships," Analysis Officer Venna whispered beside him. "They're not just using quantum mechanics, they're rewriting local physics. The power requirements alone should be—" Her voice trailed off as the ghost fleet began to glow with an inner light that their sensors couldn't properly process. The humans weren't just matching the Confederation's technology. They had moved into realms of science that the crystalline beings had only theorized about. "We accept your offer of alliance," Council Elder Xera declared suddenly, her crystals pulsing with determination. "The Confederation acknowledges humanity as equals and stands ready to face this threat together." Admiral Chen nodded, a genuine smile crossing her face. "Excellent, because what's coming will require everything both our civilizations can bring to bear. The Void Collective doesn't just want to conquer, they want to rewrite the fundamental laws of our universe. That's why we had to push so hard, advance so fast. We needed to learn to fight an enemy that doesn't just bend the rules of physics, they break them entirely." The tear in spacetime grew larger, and the first enemy ships began to emerge. Massive structures of impossible geometry that hurt to look at directly. The Ghost Fleet moved to intercept, their quantum drives singing in harmony as they prepared for battle. "Welcome to the real war," Admiral Chen said grimly. "Humanity has been preparing for this moment for generations. Now let's show the Void Collective what two advanced civilizations fighting together can really do." As the human ships engaged the enemy, displaying capabilities that redefined what the Confederation thought possible, Zextal realized that the galaxy's power structure had changed forever. Humanity hadn't just caught up to them. They had leaped far ahead, driven by a threat only they had seen coming. The age of underestimating humanity was over. The real question was, what other secrets had they been keeping in preparation for this war? The void between worlds erupted in impossible colors as the first wave of Void Collective ships tore through reality. Their vessels defied conventional geometry, existing in multiple dimensions simultaneously, leaving afterimages that burned themselves into both organic and artificial sensors. Aboard the Terran flagship Prometheus, Admiral Chen watched the tactical display with steady eyes. Around her, the bridge hummed with quantum processors that interfaced directly with her crew's neural implants, allowing them to react at speeds that would have seemed impossible just a generation ago. "Confederation fleet is in position," reported Captain Marcus Wong. His consciousness partially merged with the ship's tactical systems. "Their crystalline technology is compatible with our quantum network, but they're having trouble processing the dimensional distortions. Send them the encryption key for Protocol Omega," Chen ordered. "It's time they saw what we've really been working on." Across the battlefield, the Confederation ships suddenly received a massive data burst. Their sensor systems updated instantly, allowing them to properly perceive the true nature of their enemy. The Void Collective ships weren't just breaking physics, they were attempting to rewrite the fundamental constants of the universe itself. High Commander Zextal, coordinating from the Confederation flagship, felt his crystalline structure vibrate with shock as the new data filtered through their systems. By the first light, he whispered, the humans knew. They'd been preparing countermeasures for this specific enemy. The Void Collective ships struck first, firing weapons that didn't so much destroy their targets as erase them from existence, removing them from all possible quantum states simultaneously. But the human ships were ready. Their quantum shields didn't just absorb the attacks, they redirected them through probability space, turning the enemy's own weapons against them. "Execute Quantum Gambit Alpha," Admiral Chen commanded, her voice carrying through both conventional and quantum channels simultaneously. The Ghost Fleet moved as one, their formation shifting into patterns that seemed random at first glance, but carried deep mathematical significance. Captain Wong's hands danced across his console as he merged deeper with the ship's systems. "Ma'am, the Void Collective is attempting to alter the gravitational constant in this sector. If they succeed." "They won't," Chen interrupted, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Initiate the Einstein Protocol." Throughout the Ghost Fleet, quantum cores pulsed with energy as they executed humanity's most closely guarded technological achievement. The ships began to glow with an inner light that defied spectral analysis, their very existence becoming uncertain on a quantum level. The Confederation ships watched in awe as the human vessels seemed to exist in all possible states simultaneously. Their quantum uncertainty expanded to a macroscopic scale. The Void Collective's attempt to alter physics itself simply passed through them, finding no fixed reality to change. "Impossible," Zextol breathed, watching as the human ships phased through attacks that should have annihilated them. "They've weaponized quantum uncertainty itself." "Not impossible." Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum network. "Just improbable. And humanity has gotten very good at manipulating probability." She turned to her crew. "All ships, prepare for synchronized quantum collapse. Target their dimensional anchors." The Ghost Fleet's formation tightened, their quantum states becoming increasingly entangled. Energy readings spiked across all spectrums as they prepared to execute a maneuver that violated dozens of what the Confederation had thought were immutable laws of physics. "Now," Chen commanded. In an instant, every human ship collapsed into a single quantum state simultaneously. The energy released was focused through their probability matrices, creating a cascade effect that rippled through space-time itself. The Void Collective ships, caught in the wave of collapsed probability, found their multi-dimensional existence suddenly constrained to normal space. "Their dimensional anchors are destabilizing," Captain Wong reported, his consciousness streaming data directly from the ship's sensors. "They're being forced into linear time." The Confederation fleet, following tactical data streamed from the human ships, opened fire with their crystalline weapons. Without their dimensional advantages, the Void Collective ships proved vulnerable to conventional attacks, their impossible geometries shattering under the combined assault. "Admiral," Zextol called through the quantum network, "3 enemy ships are attempting to open a new dimensional rift. Their power readings are beyond anything we've recorded." Chen nodded grimly. "They're calling for reinforcements." "Captain Wong, initiate Protocol Omega. Show them why humanity spent 50 years preparing for this exact moment." The Prometheus's quantum core began to pulse with a rhythm that seemed to resonate with the fabric of reality itself. Throughout the Ghost Fleet, similar pulses began, building into a symphony of quantum manipulation that even the Void Collective's sensors registered with alarm. Humanity spent centuries being underestimated. Chen broadcast on all frequencies, including ones that shouldn't have existed. "We used that time wisely. Let us show you exactly what we've learned about the true nature of reality." The battle was far from over, but as the Ghost Fleet executed maneuvers that rewrote the local laws of physics, one thing became clear. Humanity hadn't just prepared for this war. They had revolutionized their understanding of the universe itself in anticipation of it. And they were just getting started. The aftermath of the quantum battle left space itself scared with probability echoes, regions where physics still fluctuated unpredictably. Aboard the Confederation flagship, High Commander Zextol watched in fascination as human repair drones navigated these distortions with impossible precision, their movements synchronized in ways that suggested something far beyond conventional control systems. "You're wondering how they do it." Admiral Chen's voice came from behind him. She had quantum teleported aboard the Confederation vessel, Another capability that should have been centuries beyond human achievement. Your ships, your drones, even your personnel. Zextal's crystals pulsed with curiosity. They move with a unity that exceeds anything we've seen in our million years of space travel. Chen smiled, tapping the nearly invisible neural interface at her temple. Humanity's greatest breakthrough wasn't in quantum mechanics or dimensional physics. It was in understanding consciousness itself. As if on cue, the repair drones outside formed into complex geometric patterns, their movements becoming a dance of mathematical precision. Through the Confederation's sensors, Zextal could detect quantum entanglement links connecting not just the drones, but extending to the human crews throughout the fleet. The neural network, Chen explained, is humanity's true advantage. We didn't just build better ships or weapons. We learned to link minds with our technology, to extend human consciousness across quantum-entangled systems. Every member of the Ghost Fleet is connected, sharing thoughts, reactions, and insights at the speed of quantum correlation. Zextal's crystalline structure vibrated with shock, but the computational requirements, the neural bandwidth alone would be impossible with conventional technology, Chen finished. That's why we developed quantum neural processors. They don't just process information. They exist in a quantum superposition with our own consciousness. We think, and the machines respond. The machines calculate, and we understand. The boundary between human and technology has become fluid. Outside, the Void Collective launched a new attack. Reality rippled as their remaining ships attempted to alter the cosmic constants again. But this time, Zextal watched with new understanding as the human fleet responded. The Ghost Fleet moved with perfect coordination, their actions synchronized not by computers or commands, but by the shared consciousness of their crews. Every ship, every weapon, every defense system operated as extensions of human thought, guided by the collective insight of thousands of networked minds. Integration complete, Captain Wong's voice echoed through both conventional and quantum channels. The Confederation's crystalline computing architecture has been successfully linked to the neural network. Permission to initiate consciousness sync. Chen turned to Zextal. Your people's crystalline nature makes you uniquely compatible with our neural interface technology. If you're willing, we can extend the network to your ships. Fight as one. The implications staggered Zextal. To merge consciousness with human technology, to experience their level of unity and coordination. The Council has already approved, Chen interrupted gently. They're monitoring this conversation through the quantum link. They understand what's at stake. Zextal nodded slowly, his crystalline form pulsing with determination. Do it. The sensation was unlike anything the Confederation beings had experienced in their million-year history. Through the neural network, they could feel the thoughts of their human allies, experience their memories of preparing for this war, understand the true scope of human advancement. They saw how humanity had discovered the Void Collective's existence decades ago, through quantum echoes of possible futures. They felt humanity's desperate race to advance beyond their technological limitations, to achieve in decades what should have taken millennia. And they understood why. The Void Collective wasn't just an enemy. They were the antithesis of ordered reality itself. Their goal wasn't conquest, but the complete rewriting of universal constants, the destruction of the very laws that made existence possible. Humanity hadn't just built weapons or ships. They had reinvented their entire civilization to face this threat. Through the neural network, the Confederation forces learned to move as the humans did, their crystalline technology harmonizing with quantum systems in ways they had never imagined possible. Ships that had once fought as individuals now operated with perfect unity, crystal, and human consciousness working in seamless concert. Multiple dimensional rifts detected, Wong reported, his consciousness resonating through the expanded network. The Void Collective is committing their main fleet. Zextal, now fully integrated into the neural network, could see the threat in all its horrifying clarity. Thousands of reality-warping ships were emerging from the rifts, their impossible geometries threatening to tear apart the local spacetime. But he could also feel the quiet confidence radiating from his human allies. Through the network, he accessed tactical analyses, strategic simulations, and battle plans that had been refined over decades of preparation. The humans hadn't just created weapons, they had revolutionized the very nature of warfare. All ships prepare for full neural synchronization. Admiral Chen commanded, her thoughts carrying through the network with crystal clarity. Show them what two civilizations fighting as one consciousness can do. As the combined fleet moved to engage the Void Collective's main force, Zextal realized that humanity's greatest achievement wasn't their technology or their weapons. It was their ability to adapt, to push beyond supposed limitations, and to bring others along with them into a new era of possibility. The real battle was about to begin, and through the neural network, both humanity and the Confederation would face it together, their consciousness unified in defense of reality itself. Reality itself seemed to scream as the Void Collective's main fleet emerged from the dimensional rifts. Their ships, massive constructs of impossible geometry, cast shadows that existed in dimensions beyond normal spacetime. Through the neural network, both human and Confederation forces felt the very constants of the universe straining under the enemy's presence. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, her consciousness extended through the network, feeling every ship, every crew member, every quantum-entangled particle across their combined fleet. Beside her, High Commander Zextal's crystalline form pulsed with shared awareness as their civilizations fought as one. "They're attempting to establish a null physics zone," Captain Wang reported, his thoughts resonating through the network. "If they succeed, they'll be able to rewrite the fundamental forces within that region." "Not if we initiate Protocol Omega Prime," Chen responded, her mind already connecting with the quantum cores of every ship in the fleet. "Humanity didn't just prepare for this war. We created weapons that even the Void Collective couldn't imagine." Through the neural network, she shared humanity's final secret. In the decades they had spent preparing, they hadn't just mastered quantum mechanics or neural integration. They had discovered something far more fundamental, the ability to stabilize reality itself. By the first light, Zextal's thoughts echoed through the network as he understood. Your quantum uncertainty manipulation, your neural technology, it was all leading to this. Chen nodded, both physically and mentally. The Void Collective tries to break physics. We learn to reinforce it, to anchor reality against their attempts to rewrite it. But we needed the processing power of both our civilizations' combined consciousness to make it work. The enemy fleet pressed their attack, their weapons distorting spacetime itself. But now, through the neural network, the combined human and Confederation forces moved with unprecedented coordination. Every ship became part of a vast quantum computer. Their crews merged consciousness, calculating probable futures faster than reality could manifest them. All ships prepare for consciousness synchronization at maximum amplitude. Chen broadcasted through the network. "Initiate Protocol Omega Prime on my mark." The Ghost Fleet and Confederation ships arranged themselves in a complex four-dimensional pattern, their quantum cores pulsing in perfect harmony. Through their shared consciousness, every crew member understood their role in what was about to happen. The Void Collective, sensing the building energy, launched a massive attack. Reality-erasing weapons and physics-altering fields swept toward the Allied fleet. But Chen had already seen this future through the network's quantum probability calculations. "Now," she commanded. In an instant, every quantum core in the fleet activated simultaneously. But instead of attacking, they created something unprecedented. A bubble of stabilized spacetime, a region where the laws of physics became absolute and unchangeable. The Void Collective's weapons, dependent on their ability to alter reality's constants, suddenly found themselves unable to function. Their ships, existing in multiple dimensions, were forced into normal spacetime, their impossible geometries collapsing under the weight of stabilized physics. "Second phase," Chen ordered, her consciousness guiding the fleet's movements through the network. Show them why humanity spent so long hiding our true capabilities. The combined fleet's weapons opened fire, but not with conventional energy or even quantum-based attacks. Instead, they launched what appeared to be small spheres of pure probability, tactical devices that humanity had developed specifically for this war. When the spheres reached the enemy fleet, they activated. Each one created a cascade of quantum collapses, forcing random sections of the void-collected ships into fixed states of reality. Ships that had once existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously found themselves literally falling apart as different sections manifested in different spatial locations. Their fleet is destabilizing, Wong reported. The probability cascade is spreading through their quantum linkages. Through the neural network, both humans and Confederation beings felt the tide turning. The Void Collective, for all their reality warping power, had never encountered an enemy that could enforce the laws of physics against them. They had no defense against having reality itself turned into a weapon. Send the message, Chen commanded. Let them understand exactly who they're facing. Through quantum channels that the Void Collective couldn't ignore, the combined fleet broadcasted a simple message. This reality is protected. Humanity and the Confederation stand as its guardians. Retreat or face annihilation in a universe where your powers mean nothing. For a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, one by one, the remaining Void Collective ships began to retreat, their dimensional rifts closing behind them. They had finally encountered something they couldn't overcome. Two civilizations fighting as one, wielding the very fabric of reality as their shield and sword. As the last enemy ship disappeared, Chen turned to Zextal. Through the neural network, they shared a moment of understanding. This victory hadn't just saved their universe. It had marked the beginning of something new. The galaxy will never be the same, Zextal observed, his crystalline form pulsing with the shared thoughts of both civilizations. No, Chen agreed, looking out at their combined fleet, human and Confederation ships now inextricably linked through the neural network. It will be better. We've proven that different species, different approaches to technology and consciousness can work together to achieve the impossible. As repair drones began healing the scared fabric of space-time, both human and Confederation crews maintained their neural link. They had glimpsed a future where civilizations could share not just technology or resources, but consciousness itself, where the barriers between species could fade, replaced by a deeper understanding. The war was over, but humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy was just beginning. They had shown that the true power of advanced civilization lay not in weapons or ships, but in the ability to unite, to share consciousness, and to face the impossible together. Dawn was breaking on a new era, and through the neural network, everyone could feel its infinite possibilities.